What's going on YouTube? PJ coming with a common yet special video for you guys for a pretty special occasion. My first 100 subscribers. I just want to begin by saying thanks for all the love and support that you've been giving me, and I'll continue to try and keep you guys happy with good content that will only get better. Let's begin this story in which I tell you guys a little about my past. This is a draw my life. On September 12, 1995, my mother, Vanessa, gave birth to a baby boy who just so happened to be named after his father, Willie Morrison. That boy was me, and yes, I'm a junior. I have a sister named Tyra, who's a year older than me. Well, not exactly a year, but 363 days older. As a toddler, my parents bought me train sets and race car tracks that were too complicated for most people my age to assemble. So, I didn't really play with those much. I just used to play outside mostly. Mom says I had my favorite red boots and tighty whities that I used to wear to go jump in mud puddles after a storm. I had to be the most adorable thing at the time. Then, I grew a little and realized that I didn't want to run around outside like a hooligan anymore. So I began to get into sports. At this time, I had to be around the age 6. I met my brother for life around that time. His name's Christian. We were both in the gifted program. Only thing is, he was inducted the last day of kindergarten, and I was the first day of first grade. And this is Rakeem, but it wasn't until high school that we became bros. Not to brag or anything, but I was actually pretty good at everything I did as a child, but I was exceptional at baseball. I never played t-ball, but as soon as I could, my parents signed me up to play recreational baseball, coach's pitch. Over the course of a couple years, I moved on to the next level of kids baseball, where we pitched to ourselves. To make a very long story short, I impressed many coaches with my pitching ability and went on to play years of fall ball and all-star, with high school recruiters coming to watch what I could do. Eventually, I just decided that baseball isn't what I'd like to do in my life, so I just stopped. It wasn't until about a year ago I learned that coaches were actually trying to get me to get held back a year in order to get bigger and stronger for a baseball career. No, I wasn't having that one. Anyways, enough about baseball. I had my first crush in middle school. I'll never forget how many butterflies were in my stomach every time I had to sit next to her in class. Eventually, I got a number and asked her to be my girlfriend, and she said yes. But it didn't last too long just because, well, I didn't really know how to treat a girlfriend. Oh well, my final year of middle school had to be one of the best years for me. I began to talk to more people, and school was just going so easy for me. And guess what? I fell in love for the first time. I felt as if she was so perfect and I was on a pedestal that I couldn't be taken off of. That is, until my sophomore year of high school. Everything just began to fall apart and I was at an all-time low. This was when I decided to break up with my first love and my parents got divorced. I'd wake up every day to arguing and fighting, and it was tearing me apart. Eventually, I moved out and went to stay with my grandparents. I lived with them for basically my entire sophomore year so I could keep my head clear. Then guess what happened? I met a girl that just so happens to currently be my girlfriend. The crazy thing is that I didn't even like her when we met. But that's a story for another day. Moving right along, I'm now a 16-year-old senior at West Feliciana High. This had to be the best time of my life that I also took for granted. I wanted it to go by like a barefoot jackrabbit on a high greasy griddle in the middle of August, rather than savoring the flavor and enjoying every minute of it. My class was something special. Everybody bonded with everybody, and we were like a big, happy family. I graduated at age 17 on May 17, 2013. It wasn't until they called my name and I walked across that track that I realized life's going by too fast. I spent that whole summer after graduating playing video games, weightlifting, riding skateboards, and just trying to spend as much time with the bros until we left for college. But obviously, that went by quickly also. Before I knew it, it was time for me to experience new things with new people. Freshman orientation at ULL couldn't have been better. During my second semester of college, my bros and I were talking on the phone, and Rakeem brought up how he was ready to start looking into getting an FRS. At that time, I didn't even know what that was. That is, until I looked it up and thought to myself, wow, that's a cool car. This was the beginning to my life as a car guy. After my first year at ULL, I transferred back closer to home to start working towards a car that I had been looking at getting. On December 21st, 2014, I purchased my 2010 Hyundai Genesis Coupe V6. This car and I shared a bond. I upgraded the exhaust, suspension, wheels, and more. People would always notice me most places I went just because, the car was green. On June 1st, 2015, I took my first vacation without my family. A few friends, Kiera and I, went to Orange Beach, Alabama to enjoy some beautiful weather in a beautiful place. Since then, I've just been working and searching for what it is that I want out of life. I ended up buying a Siberian Husky and naming him Bruce in January of 2017. And yes, he's been a handful. But I still love him and treat him as a son. After a lot of thinking and not knowing exactly what I wanted to make a career out of, a bell finally went off in my head. It wasn't an idea of what I wanted to spend the rest of my life doing, but it was something that I knew I didn't want to do for the rest of my life. I came to the conclusion that I did not want to be on someone else's time and clock in on someone else's clock while I'm left there thinking about how much I'd rather be doing something else. I feel like that's the typical life of people who don't really know what they want out of life. And I am not trying to be one of those people working a 9 to 5 that I don't really like. With this sitting on my brain, I began to remember how much my bros and I wanted to begin a YouTube channel back in high school. I researched how much a typical successful channel could make and also looked at what causes the channel to fail. The key is consistency and persistence. This was the beginning to something special for me, my YouTube channel. It started out super slow and I didn't have much experience with making videos, and this kind of bummed me out a little. I ended up buying a 2003 Mustang Cobra for various reasons and thought it'd be a big boost for my channel. I thought I'd see a dramatic change, but I didn't. But I kept at it and eventually I got to my first 50 subscribers. A little more time and effort and I was at 75, and now I'm past 100. If all of you guys were in my yard at once, it'd blow my mind that this many people are followers and support and like what I'm doing. I can't thank you guys enough for being part of the Morrison project. And if you're not, it's not too late to become a part of it. All you have to do is click that subscribe button and enjoy any video of your choice. And if it's that good, share it with your family and friends. We all like a little feedback, and I know something's on your mind. Go on. Say what you gotta say below in the comment section and let your voice be heard. And if you have a question, just ask, and I'll try my hardest to answer. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If so, smash that like button like your life depends on it. And remember to do more, be more, believe more, and achieve more. Thank you guys for watching.